from coast to coast. It's time to hear from the guys who thought they had a chance to make it big. Welcome into the Coulda Been Great Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into another Coulda Been Great Show. Tanner and JR are here with you. We have a busy week coming up in the sports world around the country, and first and foremost, we got to talk about the Super Bowl. It's an exciting time. And JR, kind of a mix between a team that obviously won the Super Bowl last year in the Kansas City Chiefs, but then, you know, the resurgent Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers setting up to be a pretty good matchup.
Hey, I told you, Tom Brady.
I was trying to go back and see if I could find where you had said that. I know you said you thought Tom was going to do well, but
I picked him. I'm pretty sure I picked him to win MVP. Like sleeper pick MVP when we did those picks that day on that show. But man, it just goes to show you, man, you know, no age ain't nothing but a number. Get that man some weapons, he's still able to go, you know. And your computer's froze right now, so it's all good. I don't know if you heard my answer. Did you hear what I said? Because you were froze for a little bit.
I did not hear what you said. No, I'm actually on my phone. I'm not on my computer, but no.
We got one in the waiting room.
There you go. No, I was just gonna say, you know, when you look at Tom, you know, obviously he hasn't had a great year, but I mean, he's been good enough, you know, good enough to get them to where they are, and that's, you know, a chance to play for a Super Bowl, and right. You know, respect to the Tampa Bay organization, first team to ever get a chance to play in your home stadium in the Super Bowl, so it's pretty cool. That's but impressive. They got a tall task going up against the Kansas City Chiefs for sure.
Yeah, that's impressive, man. That, like you said, the first team to do that, play in the Super Bowl in their hometown, and it's crazy that it's Tom Brady that's bringing that to the city. You know what I mean? I mean, just Tampa Bay, man. They've struggled for so long. I mean, they had Brad Johnson, you know what I mean, back in the early 2000s that won that Super Bowl with them. Asheville, North Carolina, Brad Johnson. There we go, Mountain Man. But since then they hadn't really done anything until recently, when Tony Dungy left and Gruden came in and won with Tony Dungy's players. But anyway, that's another story. That's another show. But since then, man, Tampa Bay's been kind of on the downfall, and for them to come back this far, this soon, I guess, quick, is very impressive.
And, you know, we kind of talked about it a little bit, or you mentioned it, you know, when you look at this, you think, you know, why couldn't they have done this in the past? But I think, you know, they just needed kind of that steady quarterback play because, you know, Brady's been great. Okay, he has been, he picks a game and which, you know, ultimately this may think, you know, they added a few pieces here and there, but you may think, you know, could other quarterbacks do this as well, or is it certainly just, you know, Tom Brady being Tom Brady and, you know, bringing that winning culture with him and that attitude and work ethic to kind of put him over the top?
Right. No, I think it's definitely Tom Brady. I mean, not comparing. Don't jump down my throat. I'm not comparing, you know, what Ryan Fitzpatrick or Jameis Winston to Tom Brady, but we see that. At least with Jameis Winston, he wasn't ready to lead that talent. He had pretty much that same talent and didn't really do anything with it. Fitzpatrick, you know, he would come in and have flashes here and there, but hey, that's Fitzmagic. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, with Tom Brady, I think he really just proved that proved to the few who doubted, I guess, that he was the greatest or one of the greatest ever to play the game. Not quarterback, just football player to play the game.
And with that being said, let's kind of flip the script a little bit and talk about just how good are the Kansas City Chiefs, because, you know, it just seems like they are just a force to be reckoned with. And, you know, they just have to be decent on defense because their offense is so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, I mean, they don't even have to be, they have to be just barely good on defense, really. Just because their offense will be able to hang with anybody. Like, I hope this is a shootout, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a shootout just because I think Tom Brady will have his way kind of with Kansas City's defense. And Kansas City is not going to have the easier way, as easy as a way with them as with Patrick Mahomes and their offense. It's
Yeah,
gonna
and
be tough.
I think that, yeah, and I mean, Tampa Bay has a ton of weapons too. I mean, you got to think about all the weapons they have offensively. You know, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, the Gronk, even though he's old, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones. Like, you know, that's a stacked offensive team. So, you know, if it does turn into a shootout, I still favor the Kansas City Chiefs. But also, you know, you have to think a little bit about you know, obviously the Chiefs won it last year, but Brady's been here and done that. You know, he has that championship mentality when it comes down the stretch. So, you know, I'm leaning Kansas City, but you just cannot count out.
You can't bet against Brady,
ever.
man. It's so
I'm
hard
gonna
to
bet
against Brady.
Him, but
you're gonna. I mean, you're gonna have. It's like it's crazy because Patrick Mahomes is almost to that status also of you can't really bet against him either. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no. You're right.
It's interesting, man. We're gonna see. It's gonna be a good game, man. Who you picking? Who you thinking?
I want to mention this first. I heard this take on Twitter, and I thought it was a pretty good take. Somebody had said, you know, when you look at it, this may be the biggest game of Patrick Mahomes' career, because you know if he loses this game,
I forgot who it was.
If he loses this game, does he ever catch Brady in the all-time great category? You know, I don't know, because it comes down to head-to-head, and, you know, Brady obviously is so far ahead of everybody. But, you know, if Mahomes can find a way to win this one and kind of send Brady out, and, you know, does he have a chance? Because that's a pretty good conversation to have is, you know, Mahomes has already shown that he could be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But at the same time, you know, now he's going against what everybody calls the GOAT. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know if I'm willing. I can't say I can't put that on Mahomes. I don't know if I'm willing to go there with it as far as the most important game of his career. I don't know if I'm willing to go there. Yeah, it's way too early. Way too early. That dude, he's got at least staying healthy at very least 10 more years probably. So I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think he will. I think he does have the chance to catch Tom Brady. I honestly, I hope Eric Bieniemy stays in Kansas City one more year, because I think one more season, Andy Reid's going to be done. Just stay there, and Eric Bieniemy just run that offense, which he's been doing for the most part for the past few years anyway. Just stay there and grow as a head coach with Patrick Mahomes growing as your franchise piece. I don't really think you could go wrong with that.
Yeah, and I don't think, you know, I'm sure he would love to his first head coaching gig, somebody's coach for, you know, 4 or 5 years point, and,
why not?
You know, have that type of generational talent. And yeah, no, I completely agree with you. And when you look at it, obviously, you know,
sorry, my bad.
Just going to say, you know, Mahomes, no, you're good. I was saying Mahomes, you know, obviously he's the front runner to win the Super Bowl MVP. You know, he's every year, unless something happens, he's the MVP conversation. And, you know, it doesn't get any better. So they definitely have some things looking up there in Kansas City. But when you look at it, you know, what is this for Tom Brady's legacy on the flip side of it? You know, if he goes down and wins another Super Bowl, you know, his legacy speaks for itself. But, you know, what can he do to improve that? I mean, he's done just about everything.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything to prove. Does not do anything to his legacy. Yeah, this is all just this is all icing on the cake for him. Yeah, this is just a cherry on top. He's good. No, nothing with his legacy. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. I'm a Cowboys fan. He's a GOAT. He's the GOAT. There's nothing. All right. No arguments against that at all.
This is kind of a crazy topic, but I was just thinking about, you know, over the years when we're talking about the greatest of all time, you look at, like, you know, Mahomes and Brady and everything, but then you all have to take into consideration all those years where it seemed that Tom didn't have any weapons in New England, and they still found a way to, like, play for a Super Bowl where, you know, Mahomes has Tyreek Hill, has Travis Kelce, you know, like 6 of the top 10 fastest guys on the earth, like on the Kansas City Chiefs team.
It's not fair.
Or it seems like that, man.
It ain't fair, man. It's just not fair.
With that being,
yeah, It's
With
not
that being
fair.
said, who's your 2021 Super Bowl champions?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Give me well. Go ahead.
Kansas City Chiefs. I say 31-24. No, 31-27. Tom Brady's going to have a chance at the end, but it's not going to go. It's not going to work.
I honestly think it's going to be a wider spread game than that. I mean, being a Broncos fan, of course, I would love for the Chiefs to lose. Even though, I mean, it's one of those ones where I kind of grew up in an era where we didn't like Tom Brady as a Broncos fan because he played for the Patriots, and we always had those crazy battles with them. But then on the other side, it's the Kansas City Chiefs, which are the Broncos' rivals. So
Yeah.
It's one of those things you just never know. But I think it's going to be a little bit wider spread than people think. I kind of want to take – I kind of want to take I'm trying to think how this is going to shake out. I want to say like 42-28, the final score, something around that mark, somewhere in the 40s. I think the Chiefs are going to score a lot of points.
You think they're going to roll on them, huh?
I just don't think Tom has what it takes to keep up anymore in a shootout. Their defense is going to have to come out and kind of dictate the way that they want the game to be played. They're going to have to make it a short possession game because, we haven't seen a defense all year long, or really even in the last 2 years, find a way to slow down Kansas City. They're scoring points nearly every time they touch the ball. So you're going to have to score touchdowns, I said it last week with the Buffalo. Yeah, I said it last week with the Buffalo Bills. Field goals are not going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. It's just not going to happen.
Not at all.
But interesting, we kind of mentioned a little bit. We wanted to talk about betting lines. Right now, Kansas City is favored by 3. So even with your pick and my pick, both of us are saying the Chiefs are going to take the Chiefs to win outright and take the spread because the spread's 3 points right now. But the over-under is 56.5 points. So I guess what was yours? 31-27, is that what you said?
Yeah, 31-27.
Yeah. So both of us would have the over in that as well. So, yeah, definitely going to be interesting. I kind of dislike a little bit of the sports betting stuff because, there's so many weird props when it comes to the Super Bowl. Like you can bet on, obviously, who's going to score the first touchdown, who's going to win the coin flip, what color Mahomes' socks going to be. Like there's a whole bunch
so crazy,
of
right?
weird.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I mean, you can bet on everything. Like the length.
Have you ever done any of those
anthem.
bets? Have you ever done any of them?
I did do I think it was, I'm trying to think, 2 or 3 years ago now. I did a first touchdown score, but I've never done any of the, the little weird side prop bets. But, so sports betting is becoming such a huge thing right now. Like this FanDuel sports book, as well as, so many other things out there, DraftKings, people are betting like crazy. Obviously we can't in North Carolina, which I wish we could, because
I wish we could.
I'd probably spend too much money, but it'd be fun to, bet on some of it kind of gives you some other cheering interest in games like this where you're not really cheering for either team, but, definitely some interesting stuff. And to get into the game, JR, all you got to do, pitch out $9,000 for a ticket. You got that?
Oh, that's it? Oh, man, that's nothing. Oh, let's go. That's nothing. I got yours too. Box suites.
There you go. Box Suites is going to run you, let's see here, $195,000 for 6 tickets.
It's nothing. That's nothing for. Hey, come on, man.
Just go ahead.
Hey, we work together. Look,
sell your home.
We work.
You
know where we work. You know I got that. Come on.
Yeah. You got to sell your home, your car, your mortgage, your children's future. It's fine.
Gotcha.
No, that's crazy. No, so we're both taking Kansas City to win the Super Bowl. JR 31-27. I'm going to go 42-28, the final score there. And I just hope it's a good game. Obviously, it's on CBS. We'll be at 6:30. 6:30 next Sunday night. Should be a good game. Hopefully, both teams show up. I don't want it to be a butt kicking, but I honestly could see the Chiefs kicking the Bucs' butt. But Tom Brady just doesn't really get his butt kicked too much. And they played so many close. I mean, they played a close game earlier this year.
Yeah, it was close. Well, I forgot what the final score was, but I know it was close. It was close to 31-27 or something. It was close to
28. Let me see if I can find out what
31,
week.
28, something close to that.
I want to say 28-24. Let me look it up here really quickly.
Gotcha.
The Chiefs are just 2 losses on the year, as we kind of mentioned. Lost to the Raiders and then the Chargers, which that final game didn't really mean anything. But so 27-24. The last time these two teams met.
See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I kind of think it's going to be like that
close.
again, but higher, a little bit higher. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The only
really
thing is, midway through the first half, Kansas City led 17-0, but then
that's right.
Then they went up 27.
Right.
It was kind of a late, like Tampa trying to hold. So the Chiefs went up 27-10 midway through the third quarter. And then Tampa scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth to make it a close game, but Kansas City ran out the clock in the second half.
Oh, okay.
Brady can't throw interceptions because we know that, we know Tampa, he had 3 interceptions last week, and the Packers never took advantage of any of them, which ultimately cost them the game. But last time they played, he threw 3 touchdowns, but also threw 2 interceptions as well.
Another episode is in the books here on the Could Have Been Great Show, and we got some special things coming up for you. You can join us next time. We'll catch up with some of Philip Rivers' college teammates. Yeah, you heard that right. To talk about his career and what exactly it was like to play with Rivers while he was in Raleigh. All of that coming up on the next episode of the Could Have Been Great Show.